everyone, my name is Ashley Dawn and I am thrilled to be here again with you today, and I am super excited to share with you another channeled message from the team of light. This is a team that I refer to. They are spirit guides, archangels, past loved ones, ascended masters, and even sometimes the Galactic Alliance. So very exciting information and messages I have to share with you guys today, and I'm honored to do so. If this is something that you already think you're into and it's right up your alley, please like, subscribe, share, do all the things. I appreciate and love your support always. So today's message is really about the shifting energy and changes going on. So it's definitely intensifying, and I think for most of us, we can feel that, we can sense it. So this is kind of, I want to call this like a breakthrough message, because for those of you that are new to energy work or just becoming awakened, you're going to be able to pick up a lot of information with this. For those of you that are probably established light workers, mediums, Reiki masters, have done a lot of like healing work on yourself, there's a little bit deeper message in here for you too. So I kind of like that it was a little bit of a combo, something for everybody. But for those of you that are extremely spiritual and light workers already, there's some good stuff in here for you too. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump in. All right, so my guide started off by saying, there are peaks of energy being given off by the earth at this very moment. This can be felt by some. You may feel spikes of emotion or a buzzing sensation physically. These spikes are the earth shifting and raising its own vibration. This is being currently measured. For some, the feeling of shifting energy is enough. For others, they will need measurable evidence before accepting their own feelings. This validation is necessary for them. The earth is raising her vibration like a fever. But even a fever has a purpose. As a fever rises within the physical body, its purpose is to kill the invading virus. And when the threat is no more, the physical body is forever imprinted with the information about the invader. The body now knows exactly how to fight off or prevent this type of infection from happening again. This is an example of how you and your earth are shifting together. So I'd like to point out that I said the earth's energy is spiking, not temperature. They're not talking, even though they're using the references fever, they don't mean temperature. I'm not talking about like climate change, I guess. But I thought it was interesting that they're saying that these spikes in energy are measured. So if you guys watch my channel, you know that I get all of my information through channeled information, and when I don't understand a term or something they use, I might go look it up. And so I did find some interesting things where they're actually measuring some of the energetic wave type activity that the earth is giving off, and there are these lower vibrations, and then they'll have these spikes in energy. So that was really interesting to me. But let's circle back to what my guides were saying about the shifting going on with the earth and the spikes and it being like a fever. So I found that really interesting. What they're kind of saying is that the earth is going through this process, and as it's shifting and raising its internal vibration, there's these spikes going on, and it's almost like what the physical body does with a fever, and they're trying to make it relatable for us, right? So when we get sick or we have something that we're fighting or struggling with, we'll have spikes in a fever to kill it, and then our own white blood cells, we have these cells called memory cells, right? These white blood cells actually remember how to fight this type of infection or invader again. So even if we get exposed to it another time, hopefully we'll kind of remember how to fight that off the next time. So I found that to be really interesting that they kind of use that analogy, but they also said that the earth is doing that, but we're doing that too. So we're kind of battling through a little bit of this new changing energy and kind of getting used to it and coming out healthier and stronger on the other side. But it's kind of like a process. So I know that a lot of you guys have reached out to me and said, holy cow, I have felt really weird the last couple weeks. So this might explain why. So if you have noticed that, please comment below and let me kind of get some validation and see what kind of is going on with you guys too. All right, let's get back to this. As this intensive shift of energy continues, expect to feel your own highs and lows. You are simply changing your energy or vibration, and that is vital. Not everyone can handle this shift, and therefore unresolved pain or fears are arising within them. Be patient with yourself and others, as we all are learning to heal and let go of what no longer serves us. Be at peace with yourself, and these fluctuations in energy become less noticeable. Look for and create moments of joy. Remember, as you change, the universe changes with you. Be proud of how far you have come and how much you have grown. There are many questions right now surrounding safety and well-being. This is also why we remind you to live in a state of joy and keep your vibration raised. This boosts your immune system and heals your DNA. Your environment, in many ways, has become toxic. Your food, daily lives, general focus have all become toxic. However, you can control only one thing: you. You can live your life with love and joy. You can heal your old wounds and let go of hurt. You can send love and light to your friends, family, and even the universe. When you arrive to this epiphany, all other chaos seems like nothing more than a distraction. For those of you who live in light and work with light, you have learned this well. Okay. So, that was a lot, right? So what I think is more powerful, and they've said this to me many times before, right now we're kind of living in a chaotic time where there's a lot of fear. And they continue to remind me that this is, one, happening for us, not to us, and two, that this is about wellness. This is all not about illness, right? And so they're saying, live with joy, feed your soul. And the more you do that, you have more control over your health and well-being. And they also went a little bit farther and remember, I interpret the images and emotions that they give into words. So they were giving me the images of like our food being toxic, our water being toxic, the shows and things that we watch being toxic or negative, the environment we put ourselves in and surround ourselves with, and the people we surround ourselves with. We have gotten so conditioned and used to that being normal. And so what they were saying is like, to be well or live with wellness means to live with joy and live in joy. And so enjoy the people around you. And if you don't, find new people. Live with joy, eat things that are full of bright colors and vibrancy. And so they were talking about and showing me images of things like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting and powerful as well. All right, so this is a little bit of a shift in a description of what's going on. And for those of you that have a little bit more insight and understanding, I need you to read between the lines here a little bit. And remember that everything that I interpret and they say, it's full of these images and emotion. So there's so much more meaning behind just one sentence. So keep that in mind when I read this next part. There will be more disturbing truths that arise from your current time. There will be many people exposed for their unethical acts. But know, as you continue to shift and heal yourself, you are healing the people and world around you. As you heal yourself, this powerful healing energy will move through time and can heal all past lives as well. Do not lose faith in humanity. At your very core, you were birthed with kindness. But As a species, you are easily manipulated and have developed a sickness for limiting beliefs over time. These beliefs are deeply ingrained. These beliefs and limitations will dissipate as you and others awaken. Know that you have been conditioned to believe you are less than, a victim, or not worthy. And of course, all these are untrue. You are an incredible light being on a journey of discovery and healing. You are not only loved, but you are love itself. You've come a long way, and you are breaking down the limitations you once believed held you back. Focus on the intention of betterment, and the universe will align with you, bringing balance and peace to many. Okay, so this one I need to kind of break down. So the first thing that they said was that we need to expect there to be some disturbing truths that arise in our current time. I'm not going to go into that too much more, but for those of you that are a little bit more awakened and aware of what's going on, I think you kind of know what they're kind of talking about. There will be many people exposed for their unethical acts. I think you kind of know what that means. But I love that they said, at our very core, we are kind. We were birthed in kindness and love. And so what they're saying is if you want to be the change, we'll say, you have got to do your own healing and work. And they're kind of, they're talking to all of us, but those of us that have, those of us that are a little bit more awakened, they're really talking to us because we have done a lot of our own healing and we're still going through our healing processes and things like that all the time. But they're really saying if you really want to make a huge change, work on yourself, right? The other thing that they talk about is having these deeply ingrained limiting beliefs that have been there from the beginning of our realm. So I think that's a wonderful way to kindly say we have been conditioned to believe that we are like weak little humans, that we shouldn't have certain pleasures in life. Like, to have too much money means that you're like the kind of fat and happy rich people that we look at and we're like, oh, that's not what I want to be. And so we have created these beliefs that tell us, well, I don't want to be like that. So then no, I don't want to have certain pleasures in life. I don't want to have material things or money, right? When the material things, they can easily be enjoyed by us. It doesn't mean that you're materialistic. There's a difference here. We have a limiting belief that if I have wealth or money, that I will then be a nasty, rich individual that is, full of ego and treat other people terribly. It's a limiting belief that we have and we've put on ourselves, but we've been conditioned to do that, right? And so I think it's really interesting that they point that out too. And they're saying the more you heal yourself now, that you can heal those limiting beliefs through time, meaning that if you had some of those limiting beliefs in past lives as well, you are going to be able to right now heal through time. And it's because the realm lines are blurring, the veil is lifting. We can actually have a little bit more interaction with past life selves, because if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that they are currently happening right now. We say past, but that's not a correct term. They are current lives, not past lives, right? And so we can actually send healing through those realities, which is really powerful stuff we're talking about here. Okay. Now this specifically is for light workers. Anybody that's listening to this is going to get the powerful message. You're going to get the healing you need. It wasn't a mistake that you clicked on this video, right? But this is really specifically for my light workers. So I need you guys in particular to perk your little ears up and really soak this in, because this is going to be powerful for you and healing too. Okay. So specifically for you guys, there are many energies out of balance. These energies have been out of balance since the beginning of your realm. As you and the earth shift your vibration, the veil is lifting. You have begun to see these imbalances for yourself. Your realm is about free will, making choices, and learning to grow your own consciousness. However, there are some that have learned how to manipulate the karmic threads, and by doing so, they have created a karmic loop tethered to suffering. It can take many lifetimes before you, a light worker, can correct the karmic suffering from long ago. This explains why so many light workers have had a difficult past in this current life and in many past lives before. You have deep old wounds that need tending to. As you remember who you are, love and light, you see through all of that past hurt. As the realm lines blur, you see the truth versus distraction. All right. Holy moly. Okay, so for those of you that are just kind of awakening and kind of fell into this message, clearly you needed to hear that too. For those of you that are already light workers, this was powerful. What they're saying is we have been injured or hurt in a way in a past life, and that karma has created a loop, and that has continued on into this lifetime. So when you have hangups or these limiting beliefs that you have now, some of them were brought on from old fears and emotions that weren't dealt with in the past. And so what they're saying is this has been happening for lifetime, over lifetime, over lifetime, over lifetime. Believing that you're not lovable, believing that you can't have a fulfilled life financially, or believing that you don't have a partner you can find, or believing that you whatever. I mean, it just, those limiting beliefs, they're saying that that was conditioned into you. You were taught by others to believe that. And they're saying like now's the time to do so much healing on yourself, and that you have done so much healing on yourself that you're able to see the truth. You're able to see that that was just kind of a manipulation, and that that's not real and that's not true. Okay, there's more here. You can now see the negative energy for what it is. You are a threat to those who have learned to manipulate for self-gain. This is why you have had a history of being persecuted and then for many years lived in hiding. You no longer need to hide. You can share your spiritual gifts now freely. You've not only awakened, but most of you, light workers, have done amazing healing work on yourselves and cleared your karma. Your hard work has ended these loops of your own suffering. This is why you are a threat. You are no longer controlled by fear. This is why you have come back so many times. It was to complete your karma and forever end these loops of entangled patterns and pain and suffering. Now you know the truth. You are no longer sheep or pawns. You can no longer be fooled by manipulation. You are free. You have remembered who you are, and your very light helps guide the way for many others following a similar path. By accomplishing this difficult feat, you have impacted the entire universe. We stand with you proudly, and we all shine brightly in triumph. And always, we send you love and light. I can't even express how powerful that is. So again, reading between the lines, feeling what they were talking about, they are literally saying that a lot of us light workers have been persecuted, stifled, manipulated for self-gain, for others and their self-gain. And they're saying now is why so many people are waking up, because as us light workers and many others have done our own work and our own healing, we shift and raise the vibration, which is why the earth is also doing the same. And as we shift and raise this vibration, we are healing through time and past lives. We are shifting the negative energy and the positive energy. Right? And because of that, we have awakened, because we know now the truth, we can see right through that. We are a threat. Before we were these little pawns, these little sheep. We've become a threat, right? Because I say they, the negative people, they now see that we are awakening. We are becoming so much more self-aware of our real light body and what we are capable of. So for those of you that are just stumbling upon this video and you are just now finding out some of the gifts you may have, you are probably about to be on a shocked little roller coaster here. Feel free to reach out to any of us that are already light workers, but you are going to be having dreams, psychic abilities, picking up decks of cards, just simply knowing things before you know them, having premonitions, you name it. Your psychic gifts are going to skyrocket right now, because we have finally lifted this veil and given ourselves enough healing to know the truth and allow us to come into our greatness and come into our truth. And that means gifts. A lot of gifts. And we were a threat for a long time, us light workers and psychics and mediums. And any time that you stand out like that, and not everybody maybe has that ability, we were a threat. We were a threat to many things: religion, cultures, countries, right? And so and we weren't persecuted or murdered, we went into hiding. And so that's another limiting belief. We believed we couldn't be ourselves. We couldn't be our weird little hippie selves, and we had to go into hiding, right? And they're saying, no more, babies, no more. You don't have to do that. You can be who you are, all right? So let your little hippie freak flag fly, because you are allowed to be exactly who you are, this magnificent, beautiful light being, right? So holy cow, was this message hugely powerful. And I hope that it just resonated with you guys. I hope that you got the healing you needed. I hope that you share this, because I feel like it's a beautiful, powerful message. Of course, I want you to like and subscribe and everything like that, because I love sharing this information. And so, and my guides have asked me to share this information with you guys. So the more I can do that, the more it brings me joy and feeds my soul. But really, I mean, put all that aside, I'm just so glad that I have, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to share this kind of stuff with you. Wow, I think that this is an amazing, powerful message. I hope you got everything you needed out of it. Major, major healing. Yeah, so please give me some comments and information below. If you guys have questions, I'd love to answer those for you. But yeah, I send you all the most humble amount of love and light possible. And I hope it just lights your healing journey up. Okay. All right. So it's got me all excited. Anyway, I send you love and light, my friends.